It's Remembrance Day 2010, the 92nd anniversary of Remembrance Day, formerly known as Armistice Day. We're here at the Gunpowder Magazine on the Queens Domain, building used to store black powder in the early days of the colony. And we're going to go through and have a look at the memorabilia on display for the Friends of Soldiers Memorial Avenue 2010 Remembrance Day display. The avenue is where the tree line is, quite an extensive avenue of 1.8 kilometres, plaques and trees dedicated to the Hobart fallen of the First World War. So we'll just move through into the courtyard of the Gunpowder Magazine. This is the courtyard of the building. Magnificent sandstone structure. Old gun carriages there. The external walls. Entering the end bay of the Gunpowder Magazine. The entrance to the display. Information relating to the Soldiers' Walk. Some of the original plaques that were to be found on trees. These have now all been replaced, and the originals will be incorporated into a memorial of some form, yet to be determined. Friends of Soldiers Memorial Avenue, merchandise, pieces of original cypress cedars which have died and been removed from the avenue, been replaced with new trees. Moving along, this is the new Discovery Box, printed material from the Department of Veterans Affairs, reproduction 08 pattern webbing, a selection of recruiting posters and paperwork, rations, First World War rations. In the trunk we have some other paperwork, pay books, a death penny, maps, Princess Mary gift tin, colour patches, etc. that will all be available for schools to loan to assist in their learning of Australia's involvement in the Great War. So, tea and coffee brew area there. Moving around, we have display cases with various personal items, some of them relating to soldiers on the avenue, but not necessarily all relating to soldiers on the avenue. A lot of these men did come back, and the items have been donated by family members. It's my 1916 Lithgow 303 resting on top of one of the display cases. Move around into the Light Horse area, Palestine campaign in the Middle East, fully dressed mannequin, uniform of an Australian Light Horseman. Saddlery, a 1916 swivel tree saddle, fully mounted with everything a Light Horse soldier would carry into battle with him. Selection of photographs mounted on a board telling the history of C Squadron, 3rd Light Horse Regiment, the Tasmanian Squadron within the 3rd Regiment. A 1911 dated fixed tree, 1902 pattern fixed tree saddle. We have a selection of reproduction rations, all of which I've made myself. The HP sauce bottle, I picked the bottle up in Ypres in a second-hand shop not too far from the Menin Gate, and have put reproduction labels, cork and a stopper in it. Infantry pattern mess tins, Tasmanian marked, and the unofficial quart pot, often favoured by Light Horsemen. Moving right around. End display case, again various personal items including paybooks, colour patches, postcards. In the centre display cabinet, again more light horse items, a pair of reproduction boots with hobnails. They are hobnailed for a mounted soldier. The hobnails are only at the front of the foot so as not to interfere with the stirrup. Fitted with 1917 dated spurs with Egyptian coins as the rowels to be kinder on the horse. Selection of Turkish items there, belt buckle, 1915 star and some Turkish coinage. In the end bay here we've got some items relating to Western Front service. Original first field dressing there. One of my most poignant pieces is the piece of ammunition pouch that I found in no man's land at Pozieres, Australian 0815 leather equipment, which was obviously being worn by one of the missing at Pozieres. Selection of farrier's tools used for shoeing horses and various other repairs. Moving around to a Western Front area, we've got the original 12th Battalion flag there. Original 1,000 round ammunition crate, Australian made crate, and then an alternative crate for holding 600 rounds here. They're both Hobart marked, Commandant Hobart. SRD rum jar, an original kit bag to Private Wilson from the 12th Battalion. In the corner here we've got Fred, who's wearing the uniform of a 12th Battalion soldier. That's an original uniform, tunic, breeches, British made slouch hat. Original colour patches of the 12th Battalion. Twice wounded, 2 vertical wound stripes on the sleeve. And overseas service chevrons on the other sleeve, 3 chevrons of the British pattern. Also, the buttons have been replaced with the leather Turk's head type button. Assorted items on this table. Moving around to my Western Front battlefield finds from the trip to France and Belgium over Anzac Day this year. These items are all mounted on a board with an explanation underneath them. A little bit of a display in relation to the German A7V Mephisto, captured by the 26th Battalion, AIF. A German section here, showing German headgear, 1910 pattern Prussian Mutz, Prussian M1915 Pickelhaube. Unfortunately mine is at spike, as most of them are. German M1918 Stahlhelm and GM17 Lederschutzmask, leather protection mask. All original. A couple of buttons and belt buckles, canister for the gas mask. A 1916 dated Lithgow rifle barrel. Telescope, Signalling Mark III, also general service. This is a 1914 dated example, R.J. Beck of London, on a 1916 dated tripod used for signalling and also sniping and general observation work. Original AIF Senior NCO's soft peak cap, recent addition to the collection. There is a picture of the AIF soft peak cap being worn by John Patrick Hamilton, VC. Next to that we have an original AIF tunic, 47th Battalion tunic, a British made pattern 1917 tunic. Here we have a haversack display, items carried in a soldier's haversack. We have 24 hours rations, bully beef biscuits, even a bar of chocolate there, soldier's hold all containing spare shoelaces, knife, fork, spoon, bone-handled toothbrush with boar bristles, shaving kit and a cow horn comb, various other items, matches, cigarettes, rifle cleaning flannelette, boot cleaning gear, spare pair of socks, foot powder, first field dressing, all carried in the haversack. Here we have a Mark I Brodie helmet, original Mark I Brodie shell, early pattern, without the rim, mounted on a pack, carried when in full marching order and left in the rear when going up to the front in battle order. Another AIF kit bag, this time the brown version. This is the courtyard of the building. Magnificent sandstone structure. Old gun carriages there. The external walls. It's Remembrance Day 2010, the 92nd anniversary of Remembrance Day, formerly known as Armistice Day. We're here at the Gunpowder Magazine on the Queens Domain, building used to store black powder in the early days of the colony. And we're going to go through and have a look at the memorabilia on display for the Friends of Soldiers Memorial Avenue 2010 Remembrance Day display. The avenue is where the tree line is. Quite an extensive avenue of 1.8 kilometres, plaques and trees dedicated to the Hobart fallen of the First World War. So we'll just move through into the courtyard of the Gunpowder Magazine.